Day 31, we did it. We did a whole month of low spend, no spend, and this is the book. The author is Ruth Sukup, and I actually had a lot of fun. I thought it was a great experience. It's taught me several things about myself. It's gotten me out of the shopping habit. Because to be honest with you, I used to love to shop. I was in Walmart a couple times a week. You know, if I wanted it, I bought it, whether I had it something similar or not. It's really taught me to look at consumerism in a different light, and it's not something I want to do anymore. And it's not a matter of being a cheapskate or anything like that. It's just being mindful of the planet, mindful of the people that are around you, mindful of the things that you can do without stuff. So it's really been a positive experience for me. So I'm going to list, I have a whole playlist. The whole program is in a playlist, and I'm going to link that below if you want to start again or look back on it, or if you came in later in the video sessions, you can check that out. So anyway, the book talks about today, the subject for today is what not to do now. Okay, so it's probably not a good idea to run to the store, and I mean, I know that temptation is out there, but to run to the store, your credit card in hand, and just go crazy and just undo everything you've just done for the last month. I mean, you can do that if you want to, but I'm not going to do that. It's taught me to be more frugal and to use what I have, and that's what I'm going to do. If you want to, you can learn from this past month. You can learn how to save more money, how to be more frugal, how to create a savings plan, how to create a budget, all those things. And I know it sounds a little bit daunting sometimes, but actually I've gone over my budget now, and I think it's not hard. It's pretty easy. The point is to just stick to it and to make conscious decisions of what it is you really want, and not fall prey to all the commercials that we're bombarded with constantly, all the shiny things that we think we have, and we run out there and we buy it, and it gives you a high for maybe a few hours, and you get home and you put the stuff away and you don't have anywhere to put it, and that causes you stress, and then you think to yourself, oh gosh, I spent all this money on this and I don't really need it. So you kind of have a big crash after that. And I'm speaking from experience. You know, like I said, I was not always a frugal person. I could spend money. So anyway, I've really enjoyed what I've learned. I have done my budget. Actually, I did it for August, and I wrote down all my bills, and I'm going to continue it for September. Let me organize myself here. And so I'm in the month. This is my budget book, and I really, really like the way this works. And I will post the video again down below how I've put this budget book together. Very easy. You don't have to run out and spend a lot of money. If you already have some printer paper, you don't need to print anything other than a calendar. You don't need to spend a lot of money on a planner. But if you want to do that, feel free. You know, if that keeps you focused with all the stickers and things, that's great too. But anyway, I'm in the month of August, and I did write down everything I spent on each week and the total at the end of the week, and then I totaled it down. The next page, I have what I spent on different things, and oh dear, and then what I owe on different bills. So I have that on the last page. So that's all I need are those 3 pages, and it keeps me on track. And it shows me how much I've spent. It shows me what I need to pay for. If I want to save for something, I have a place in there where I can write that down, how much I put into my bill pay account, how much I just make notations and put that all in there. So this is my budget book. I did go over it again. That was yesterday's assignment. And I reassessed my budget to see where I want to cut back or what I want to keep, and it works out great. So let's see, the book talks about everything we've learned in the past month, like speed cleaning. It suggests you continue to do that, continue speed cleaning every day, keeping your things organized so that you know what you have and you don't go out and buy 20 of one thing when you already had 19 of them right in your own home, or you had something comparable that you could use. So it suggests that you continue to do that, keep things neat and speed clean. For gift giving, and that was a suggestion too, especially if you have children, you can start making gifts for friends. If they like plants, you could start them some cuttings and put it in a nice little pot. It doesn't have to be something you buy. It can be something that you make yourself. Decorate an old coffee can, spray paint it, paint some flowers or whatever it is, and you know, I think they would appreciate that. And just from cuttings, you can start plants from seeds. You can refashion some of your clothes. If you're like me, and I have a ton of clothes, you can refashion them, have fun with it. You can put together different outfits, mix and match, try something new with something that you always wore a certain way, tie a scarf around it, use a scarf as a belt, use a scarf as a headband. There's all kinds of things you can have fun with. And find your fashion style. What style is it you like? Look through old magazines and make yourself a little notebook or a board where you put the styles up that you like, and see what you have in your closet that you can put together and create similar outfits. Now I'm finding that I'm a mostly casual person. I do like to get dressed up when I go somewhere, but I don't go crazy with it. You know, I like jewelry. I'm a very girly girl, but I've also discovered I really like a boho chic kind of look. So I'm going to work on my closet and see what I can come up with that. And so that'll be fun. Have fun with your stuff. You know, you paid for one way or the other, and so have fun with it. That way you don't get bored. So what else does it suggest? Of course, spending the quality time with your family, with your significant other. You know, don't just do it for the month. Do it for the next month. You don't always have to go out and spend $100 on a dinner for 2. You know, go back and watch the video that I did for that, and you know, come up with free things to do. That's always a fun thing to do, and add your own things. So continue to do that. Now it says, do review your finances at this point. Compare what you spent this month with previous months, and see if you did actually save. Now, I know I saved. For me, it's hard to tell because, as I've said before, I didn't really have much of a budget. I just, oh, I got paid, I ran out, I spent, a couple $100 on whatever one month. I'd spend 300 the next month. So for me, it's hard to figure out how much I actually saved. But I'm guesstimating that I saved between $200 and $300 because just not buying groceries. And I'm one person. How much can I eat? That's why my freezer is so jammed full. So creating meals that are different. You can take one thing and make it into something else. And that's fun too. You can have a good time in the kitchen. So I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to cook from my pantry and my freezer. I will have to buy some produce because I did not buy any groceries at all this month. Nothing. I was gifted a few things, some cucumbers, some tomatoes, a zucchini, and a little bag of leftover salad, which came just in time because I like salad on my burgers. And so I have a leftover one, and that's what I'm going to eat tonight. But be creative with your food. Turn it into something else. If you bought, and I've done this before, I've bought veggie burgers that, they were okay, but they didn't float my boat. So I made a meatloaf out of them, added other ingredients to it, some breadcrumbs, some oatmeal, crumbled those up. You can make meatballs out of that and give it a totally different flavor and something that is really delicious. So you continue to do things like that. It really has to be a lifestyle change if you want to start being more mindful of your spending and plug up the cash flow leak that so many of us, including myself, have. So it says too, don't run out and buy everything you wanted during the challenge. Don't do that. Give it a couple days, give it another week maybe before you go to the store. Continue doing your own lattes or, whatever. Once in a while, I will treat myself to a McDonald's, like an iced coffee. I like those. They're like $3, but I'm not spending $4 or $5 on a cup of coffee when I can turn on my Keurig and make my own. And I can flavor it the way I want. So, but if that's your thing, that's great. There's the old saying, you can have anything you want, but you can't have everything. And that is so true. And really, do we really want everything? I think that's why most of us are so bored. We just have the constant stimulation and the constant wanting of more and more and more. And I see it especially in young people. They're never satisfied. They always want the bigger, the better, and it's a stressful way to live. It's not a peaceful life. And for me, I want peace in my life. I don't want drama. I don't want a lot of new stuff. I have enough, really. I really and truly have enough, more than enough. But I really don't want to continue down that path where I get so bored with everything that I have to have something new. I intend to use what I have, whether that's cleaning supplies or makeup or food or clothing. I'm just going to enjoy what I have. So And it says, do carry these lessons forward as you plan your budget for the future. So, and if you get a raise at work, if you're living comfortably on the salary that you have and you have what you need and most of the things you want, consider taking that money and not even having it in your paycheck and putting it away for the future, because most of us want to retire. And even if you don't want to retire, most of us, especially as we get older, at least want to work at something that we really love to do. When you're younger and you have a family, sometimes we need to work in a job that really isn't our ideal. We go to work, we bring home the money, and that's that. But for me, I never thought it was worth working so many hours at a job to pay for stuff that I really don't need. Sometimes I ask myself if I want something, and this was when I was working, is this worth working another 8 hours a week to have this article and to pay for it? And a lot of times the answer was no. I'd rather spend the time at home with my family, or if you're a single person, at home relaxing and doing what you want to do. So everything's a choice. Let's see. Don't forget to try the barter system if you need something, or trade, or refurbish, or upcycle, because you're putting a part of yourself into these things. And I've always loved an eclectic style in a home. I think it's so cool. Like the boho, even the boho look, boho chic look in a home where you take old and new and you mix and match. And I think that it's just so cozy and it looks so nice and the colors are wonderful and you can do so many things. We are all artists. Our soul is artistic. You may not be able to paint like Picasso or my favorite Bob Ross. I love him. But I'm sure you have other talents that your artistic soul wants to express. There's a book by Julia Cameron and it's called The Artist's Way. And it's really written for artists, writers, whatever. And to try and get over their artistic block, because sometimes if you're an artist, you do get a block and it's like, well, now what do? I did this, I did that, and now I don't know. But it's for everybody, really. It's not just for artists, because we are all artists, we're all artistic. Even if your art form is being a caregiver or rescuing dogs or anything, make an art of it, make it your passion. So, oh my, what else? Oh, and it says too, don't run out and restock your entire pantry, which is good advice. Now, I've used things out of my pantry, as you know. I love to pantry cook, freezer cook, and I do have a lot of things, but I didn't accumulate that all, in a month's time. It's things I've accumulated over the years, really, some of it. And so don't run out and restock your whole pantry. Start slowly stocking up and getting what you need so that if you have an emergency, you have food. And they suggest having at least 3 months worth of food if something happens. And I don't want to be a doomsday person, but you have, if something medically can happen to you where you can't get out, or you can have really bad weather where you can't get out, and then you don't want to say, oh, I've got nothing to eat. Now what do I do? So you want to plan for the future, both financially and also in the way of food. And don't forget water. I like to go out when I pick up groceries. I like to get an extra gallon or two of water, and I keep that on my stairs. And then what I do is I put it each gallon on a step, and then I start using the oldest, and then I start replacing it so that it's not sitting there stagnant for 2 or 3 years. So that's what I do. Um, oh, do consider some new ways to save at the grocery store. Um, whatever that means to you. Uh, if you use coupons, that's fine. You can use apps like Ibotta. I'm not real familiar with all the apps that you can use, but I know a lot of people do use those. That might save you some money, or you might get rebates and get some of that money back. So explore those options. Um, and what else? Oh, and then it says, do consider revisiting the challenge again. And you don't need to do a whole month. You can do whatever time frame you want. If it's starting out slow, 2 or 3 days. If you're one that buys something every single day, you may want to go 3 or 4 days without buying something. Take your lunch to work, make your latte in the morning, take a thermos of coffee if your place of employment doesn't provide coffee. So, or take your tea bags to work, and almost all places have a microwave. So get creative with your spending in that way too. So they have a couple of post-challenge do's and don'ts in the book. And it says, do review your finances at this point, compare what you spent this month with previous month. It says, carry these lessons forward as you plan your budget for the future. Consider upcoming holidays, birthdays, and vacations. Make accommodations, but ask yourself, are there any ways you can save? And then it has, do consider some new ways to save at the store. If you take away anything from this challenge, hopefully it's that you'll eat at home a little more and go out just a little less. That alone will save you a bundle. Planning trips to the store and using coupons to save money can really help to stretch your budget. And do consider revisiting this challenge, like I just said, and deliberately not spending actually can become kind of fun. So then it goes on to say, they want you to come up with some meal ideas, a need and a want list. There is a difference, as we know, and write down some of your crafty ideas so that when you're bored, you have a little list you can go to and figure out what you want to do. And don't forget to share your challenge results. You can share them on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook using hashtag 31days LWSZ so that others can share in your journey. So that's it, my friends. Before I go, I wanted to just do a couple shout outs to some of the channels that I enjoy. Now, these are frugal channels, so some of my other friends, if I don't mention you today, I will in the future. I like to do shout outs, but this pertains mainly to people that have frugal channels. So one of them is A Merry Life on a Budget, and I'll put their channels below. The Frugal Minimalist, both A Merry Life on a Budget and the Frugal Minimalist, they have great ideas on saving money. We can't all think of everything, so it's good if you're going through these no spend, low spend to find other resources. where you can get more ideas of how other people save money. Um, Save Like a Pro with Leah. She's a delightful lady that comes up with all kinds of different ways to save money, from buying a house to money saving tips. Um, she's worth checking out as well. And this is a young lady that I just found her channel, and I've watched a few of her videos, and she has some really good ideas on cutting costs, on decorating her home, frugal shopping, and her channel is Cheaper by the Dollar. So I'll link those below. And this has been so much fun, and I've so enjoyed talking to other people that have been doing the challenge with me, even if it's not for the whole month. I enjoy hearing what you've accomplished, and I will do this again. 100% I will do this again. So let me know what you thought of the 31 days of low, no spend in the comments below. And also, I'm trying to figure out, I would like to do another series. And is there anything that some of my viewers here would like me to address in a video? If so, please leave me a comment below and I will do my best to try and get that done. All right, my friends, thank you so much for visiting me on my channel, for your kind comments. This is becoming a really great community of people. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I would love it if this channel would grow. The more people that join, the more ideas we can give each other and, you know, go through this journey together. So that's all I have for you today. And I want to say I love you guys and abundant blessings to each and every one of you. And I'll see you next time.